Morning Year 6 and welcome to this week's home learning. Today is Monday the 18th of January, so before we start, make sure that you've got your copy of Room 13. You can access the recording of me reading the new chapters, which is on our YouTube channel in the Year 6 playlist. And make sure you have your reading answer booklet, which is this one, with the date 18th of the 1st, 2021. Once you've got all that ready, we can begin. So by now you should have all read chapters 1 to 10. What I'd like to do for your first task is think about what has happened in the story so far. I'm really enjoying this story and I hope you guys are too. What I'd like you to do is, in a minute, pause the video and write down 5 sentences that will tell the story so far. How could you explain the story? So think of all the key points that has happened so far to tell somebody that's never read it in just 5 sentences. So when you're ready, pause the video. When you've wrote your 5 sentences, unpause and come back and join us. Okay, so now you've had the chance to write down your 5 sentences as what has happened in the story so far. This is my example. So sentence number 1, the first key point is Fliss's dream. Well, nightmare. Fliss had a nightmare about her upcoming school trip and didn't want to go. The next piece of key information I think is important is that Fliss changed her mind about that school trip, but then Gary Bazard frightened her again by mentioning Dracula and how he comes from Whitby, which is where they are going. The next interesting thing is the hotel where they are staying is very similar to the one in Fliss's nightmare, and it has a cupboard door with no number on it. One night, Fliss goes to the toilet and sees a number 13 on the cupboard door. That wasn't there in the morning. She also hears noises coming from behind the door, and when she's in bed, she hears footsteps. The next key piece of information is the next day, Ellie Mae, a girl in Fliss's class, looks a bit poorly, and David Trotter says he saw her walking around the hotel late at night. And I've ended my sentences with a question. Could she have been the one in room 13? If she is, why? So, look at your sentences. Are they punctuated properly? Have you mentioned the key points? Have you added something that I haven't? I can't wait to see them in your home learning packs. So now we've done that, let's think about the characters we have met in our story so far. Here are a few of them. We've got Lisa, David Trotter, Gary Bazard, Fliss, Ellie Mae and Mr. Hepworth. Your task is to try and link all these characters together. How do they all fit into the story together? Again, pause the video, and when you're ready, when you've linked all the characters together in your home learning book, unpause. Okay, so there are different ways that these characters can be linked together. I'm going to give you one example. So what you could have said is David Trotter and Gary Bazard are good friends. They are on the school trip with Ellie Mae and Fliss and Lisa. Lisa and Fliss are also best friends. Fliss doesn't really get along with Ellie Mae, but they are on the school trip together. And Mr. Hepworth is the teacher of all of these, who's also on the school trip. Another way of linking them together could be that David and Fliss have both heard things in the night. Lisa is also linked to Ellie Mae because she stuck up for her on the coach. How did you link your characters together? Now we're going to read the next 2 chapters. So when you're ready, pause this video, get the next chapters up, chapters 11 and 12 on the YouTube channel, and make sure you have the text in front of you to follow along. Once you've read the next 2 chapters, unpause the video and come and join us again. So now we've learned a little bit more about Ellie Mae and how she's still feeling poorly. What I want you to do now is think about what the text has told us and what you think is wrong with Ellie Mae and why you think this. What evidence is there in the text to make you think this? Pause the video, write your answer, and when you're ready, unpause. Great. So one thing that makes a really good reader is asking questions along with the text. So as you were reading chapters 11 and 12, were you thinking in your head, what is wrong with Ellie Mae and why is she poorly? If she is the person wandering around, is that what's making her poorly? Or is she just homesick? Or has she got food poisoning? What answers have you put? The next question on your sheet is this. What do you think Fliss, Lisa and Gary and David will see at night? So now we've read the chapters, we know that they are planning to keep watch at night and see what happens. See if they are going to see Ellie Mae. So I want you to think, will they see Ellie Mae? If they do see Ellie Mae, what will she be doing? And what do you think they will do about it? Again, pause the video, write your answers and then unpause. So I wonder what ideas you had. I don't know if any of you think that they will see something, and if they do, what would it be? I can't wait to see your questions in your learning packs next week. So let's have a look at this. This is an extract from the text. She was still a couple of 100 metres behind him when he stopped and looked back. She waved and shouted, "Sir, sir!" And to her relief, he raised his hand, halting the column, and stood watching her approach. I want you to think about the choice of words the author has used here. Why do you think the author has included "to her relief"? Think about what Fliss was doing. I hope as you were reading, you've tried to paint a picture in your head as what's been happening. So hopefully that will help you think about why the author's used "to her relief." Pause the video, write your answers, and then join us again. Okay, so you're back. So your answers should have been something like this. The author has used "to her relief" because Fliss was running, and I think because she had a couple of 100 metres to go, she was feeling tired. So she was relieved when he stopped and she didn't have to do any running or run any further. Did you get that one right? Okay, we're going to end our session with a bit of a P for C question here. Is it right to be polite, kind and helpful to someone who is not polite, kind and helpful to others? There's no right or wrong answer for this. It's your opinion. But again, when you put your opinion, you like to give evidence, okay? Because that backs up your opinion, okay? So it's up to you. Use the text, use your own experience. But I would like an answer. I want you to think about it first or talk about it with an adult or grown up at home. Think about if it is right to be polite, kind and helpful to someone who is not polite, kind and helpful to others. Again, I can't wait to see what you've put in your home learning packs. Once you've done that, that's the end of today's learning. Put your reading answer booklet and text away somewhere safe, ready for tomorrow. See you later.